Hi guys, welcome to the Spill and Grill.
I'm Sara.
And I'm Tashinga.
And this is where you spill the stories.
And we grill them to perfection.
All right, guys, let's get started.
But before we get started, there is the elephant in the room. We do have a special guest. Her name is Simba. She is sleeping, so she will pop her head up from time to time. But this is my dog. She's 8 years old. And she's decided to join us today, so why not?
Maybe she has some stories for us, too.
Maybe some stories I don't even know about, so...
Sneaking away from mom.
Exactly, like, doing the deed behind the scenes. So.
Uh-oh. Simba, what have you been up to?
I would love to know. As your mom, I would really love to know. Okay.
All right, guys. So... as you know, I've got plenty of stories, and I've shared some of those stories. But today, it is someone else's turn.
Me! I'm sharing a story, a fun dating story. Okay, so met the guy on Bumble, on the dating app, which was very interesting. And it actually didn't start off very well, to be honest, because... we started speaking on Bumble and then this moved to Instagram. So he was like, let me follow you on Instagram. I said, okay, fine. So every time we were trying to meet, he would just disappear. As in like, okay, let's figure out a day. And he's like, yeah, I'll get back to you. And then doesn't get back to me. And Instagram being Instagram, of course, I can follow his stories, right? We're following each other now. So I see he's in Barcelona. He's out on the town. He's doing things. So days went by and then he was like, oh, hey, sorry, I was just very busy. My sister was in town and my mum and I took them out. And I was like, okay, so you disappeared and you couldn't just say, oh, this is what's going on?
Yeah, why after the fact?
Yeah, exactly. So I just thought it was very weird. And this happened back and forth quite a few times. So I was just very like, he's on the burner. Like, it is what it is. And then one Friday, he was just like, hey, I'm in the city with some friends having some drinks. Do you want to be spontaneous and meet up tonight? And it was fitting because literally where we were going to meet up was a 2-minute walk.
Oh.
So it was like, I was almost like, oh, okay, this is fitting. So let's just go for it. So I was at my friend's birthday and then I left my friend's birthday around 11 p.m. So I got to the bar. The bar was very, very small. And he's sitting there at the bar. So I got there, gave him a hug, and it was quite loud, the bar we were in. Again, it was very small. When I mean small, I think 20 people would have been too many. That's how small the bar was. So we're sitting at the bar and he was like, oh, so nice to meet you. And I was like, great to meet you too. And then he was like, okay, so tell me about yourself. So I was like, oh, I'm Tashinga, blah, 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 just talking about myself. And then he was like, can I just say something? I was like, oh, yeah, sure. After I had explained who I am, he said, you answered that like an interview. And I was like, oh my God.
I think that's a perfect answer. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah.
You told him a little bit about yourself.
I don't know what he was looking for.
Yeah.
I don't know. So that happened. And in my head, I was like, oh my God, like, this is not going to go well. And I'm quite a confident person, but I was just a bit like, okay.
Yeah, that will throw you off.
So then I was like, you tell me about yourself. And then he explained, but for me, I was just kind of so like, oh my God, I answered that like an interview. Shit. I wasn't really listening to what he was saying, to be honest. And then it got a bit better because then we started speaking about music and we had really connected on the music part. And he was saying, what are your top 3 albums? And he was explaining his, and we had like, I would say similar taste. So it was very good. So as we're in this bar, the music starts to get louder because it's like midnight at this point. So it kind of turns into like a little disco, but not really because it's tiny. So the bartender is like this older woman and he's really like looking at him and he's like, cause he's singing the songs as well. He's just like, and she's like, yeah. And I'm just like, oh, wow, okay, this is great. This is great. So to be honest, I was just like, please, I mean, go for it. Because at this point, like, I've not impressed this guy at all. So I'm just like, carry on. And then at one point, I kid you not, he gets up and starts dancing on the dance floor without me. He doesn't even say, Tashinga, let's go. He just gets up and he's like this, fist pumping in the air. And I'm just sitting at the bar like, okay.
Is there anyone else on the dance floor?
No. There barely really isn't a dance floor. Like, imagine 20 people is maximum amount of people in this place. It's small.
Okay.
Right?
It's just a space on the floor.
Exactly.
An empty space.
It was just like a space to go to the bathroom and to go to the front door. That's it. So he's there just dancing, and then there was a guy behind me, and he kind of looks at me, and then he looks at the guy, and he susses this is definitely a first date. You can tell. And he's just looking at me like, and I'm like, He's just left me. I mean, maybe I should have got up and danced with him, but at the same time, I was like, what? I felt like I was in the Twilight Zone. I was like, what is going on here? What is happening? So he's doing his thing. He comes back. He's not even like, oh, join me. He's just like, he's had his moment. Comes back. And then he was like, listen, Tashinga, my life is two things. It's chaos and it's control. Monday to Friday, it's complete control with work. Hence why he never messaged me back on the Instagram, because no, I'm in control mode. Okay, fine. But then it gets to Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, bring on the chaos.
But that chaos is not something you're supposed to want.
No, but I think that's because he's in so much control. Chaos is like the only thing on his radar, I think.
And I don't feel that's control.
No.
Because being in control of something should be a positive thing.
It should be, but I feel the job was incredibly demanding. So I'm guessing Monday to Friday, he's showing this certain type of face. And then Friday, we see a different face.
Yeah.
A very different face. So when he said that, I was just like, oh, okay, chaos and control. And he was like, yeah. And pretty much, you don't know what you're going to get with me. And I was like, right, okay.
Wow.
Kind of like tonight, dancing on the floor, on the dance floor, that doesn't exist, like what's happening? When we first started talking on Bumble, he had just come home from a night out and I was just waking up to go to the gym. And we started talking for like 3 or 4 hours and I was like, don't you want to go sleep? And he was like, no, I'm actually like enjoying speaking to you. And I was like, oh, okay. And the conversation was very fine, very, very chill. And then he sends me a pic of him naked covering his parts. I didn't ask for it. I didn't ask for it at 7 a.m. in the morning. I did not. And it was just very strange. And why I'm telling you this is because I mentioned this in the date. I said, why did you send me that photo? I didn't ask for it. And he said, oh, I thought that was going to help you. What, help me masturbate? No. It was super strange because I wasn't doing it to embarrass him, but we weren't even talking sexy or sext. It was not like that. It was just like, how was your week? Boom. And it was like a photo of him laying down and him covering his bits like that.
That's like the reverse of a dick pic, but it's just as bad.
Yeah.
It's literally just as bad. Yeah. It's like, no, don't do that.
And he was like, oh, I thought you would have liked that. I thought that's what you wanted. At what part of the conversation
At 7 a.m.
Well, I'm going
with
to
my
the gym.
orange juice. Yeah.
Exactly. And you're coming home from a heavy night. And then he was like, I'm a very insecure person. And I was just like, is this what first dates are like? Or is this what dating is like, that you really tell someone your insecurities and that you are insecure? Because wait until date number 10 for that, please. Yeah. But he was like saying this and I was like, what do you mean you're insecure? He was just like, I want all attention on me. And I was like, what? I was like, really? Is this happening? And I said, okay, for example, if you and I are boyfriend and girlfriend and we go to a bar and a woman compliments me on my outfit, and he's like, no, I want attention on me. And I specifically said a woman on purpose because I was just like, let's not go there with a guy. Let's just say a girl says, oh, Sarah, I love your hair color. Or Sarah, where'd you get those trousers from? Attention has to be on him. He was talking about his looks a lot. And I just thought to myself, obviously I find you attractive, which is why I'm on this date with you. But now if you're just going to be talking about your insecurities and your looks and that you basically don't think you're good looking, like for me, I'm just like, I'm already switched off. Like I can't, like it's not attractive at all. And then at this point, the bar was closing. Thank Lord it was closing. Like seriously, I just don't know how long I could have taken. And then he was like, oh, how are you getting home? And I said, oh, I drive. And then he was like, oh, can I bum a lift? And me just being the nice person I am, I said yes. And then in the car, he was like, so how do you think this went, Tashinga? And I was like, yeah, it was okay. And then he was like, I would like to go on a second date. I was quite surprised, to be honest, because I think by this story, there's no second date, right? So I said, oh, you think so? And he said, yeah. And then I said, okay, I'll let you set it up. You want to go on a second date? I'll let you set it up. I'll leave it up to you. Because I was going to message him the next day saying, oh, hey, thanks. It was lovely to meet you. And basically just say, like, okay, we don't need to go on a second date. It's fine. Oh, but I go to Instagram and I'm blocked.
Maybe it was one of those, I'm going to reject her before she can reject me.
Oh, we love that. Please. I handle rejection very well. So if you wanted to be the one that rejected me, by all means, go for it. I look back and I laugh at it. I really laugh at it. At the time, I was like, what is happening?
That one's intense.
Yeah, definitely. And then the blocking the next day, I thought, oh, wow. So yeah, that was that story.
Oh my God. All right. I don't have a personal story today. They are coming, but I do have another story that I found really interesting. I found this on Threads. I met a guy on Tinder, and he suggested we go roller skating for our first date. Me, roller derby player. Him, skated once at a birthday party 20 years ago. Okay. After 20 minutes, he asked to leave and move on to dinner. Okay, no problem. He asks if we can both drive to his house and then he'll drive me to dinner from there. Red flag level 5. I get that, yeah. He sees the look on my face and immediately backpedals. Never mind, he'll just meet me at the restaurant. We both drive from the rink to the restaurant. He is 15 minutes later than me somehow. I'm about to leave when he walks in, confesses that he had to run to his home for his inhaler, and that's what it was all about. Okay, I'm sympathetic, but I wish he had been upfront about it. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that does, yeah.
Why do you go roller skating without it, though?
Why would you even go roller skating, period, to be honest, actually? Just like go for a walk.
Yeah, if you know that that's something, it's an activity that you haven't done in 20 years.
And it's a cardiovascular activity, so for people that have asthma, it's probably not the best.
Bring your pump.
Yeah,
and you should know to bring your pump, so I'm not going to give him the excuse that he forgot it. No, I'm not giving him that. All right. We sit down. He asks the waitress, is the Coke here good? She looks confused. It's Coke. Okay, but is it good? He grills the waitress about the Coke's pedigree. Finally, orders a Coke. The Coke was not up to his standards. While we wait for our food, we get into a playful argument about whether his hometown traffic or my hometown traffic is worse. I say, the traffic in your hometown may be congested and slow, but where I'm from, the traffic is terrifying and causes fear for one's life. He says, do you think that's because of all of the black people there? I walked out. Date over. He texts me the next day and asks me to go out again. Obviously, I declined and blocked.
What a moron. I have no words. I'm actually speechless.
I don't even know what to say. The grill's off. Like, what the fuck?
Wow. Who says that on a date? Who actually has real balls, audacity to say that on a date? About any race. Yeah. Right? About any race. Let's get that clear, but whoa.
Ugh. I'm literally disgusted right now.
Me too, but good for her that she stood her ground and just walked off and was like, I do not condone this bullshit, and out.
Yeah.
Like, really good for her. But whoa.
And like, I've never even heard like of a stereotype between bad traffic and black people.
Like that comment is
No, it's completely like out of line.
I hope the girl that he was dating was not black.
I guess not. I know he wouldn't say that to her. But would he go on a date with a black person if he would say that?
I mean, stranger things have happened. Like, I felt like he seems so comfortable to even say it. Whether she's white, black, mixed, Asian, like, I mean, why would...
And it's so random. It's so out of the blue.
Random.
Like, and she said, like, we were having like a playful talk about the traffic, you know? So it wasn't like a heated debate. And then you go and swerve like that. And good for you for just walking out, because at that point, like, yes, we've all been on those dates that things get awkward, but then you just stay, right? Because it's even more awkward to leave.
Yeah.
But in this case, yeah, good for you. Good for you. Get up, leave, block him. Because if he can say that on the first date, imagine once he gets comfortable with you. The
It's
kind of
true.
things he's going to say. Or the kind of things he believes.
Trump supporter, maybe.
Probably.
Maybe, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And what's up with the coke?
But it has to be a certain pedigree, you said?
Yeah. So, okay, neither of us are from the United States, and I do know the cities, but just for privacy reasons, I haven't disclosed them. Is there different type? Is there more than just Coca-Cola and Pepsi in the United States? Can somebody tell me that? Like, is there like, I mean, there's a few restaurants here that brew their own cola.
That's true. Yeah,
so like, is it that? Because if it's just Coca-Cola or if it's just Pepsi and it's not up to your standards, the next restaurant won't be to your standards either because
That's true, yeah.
because it's still Coca-Cola or Pepsi. Can you imagine the poor waitress? Like, she's just trying to bring you guys food and drinks.
That's like...
Don't make her job more difficult.
I want tap water, but is it the good kind of tap water from the faucet? Huh?
Exactly. What kind of pipes do you have? What are inside your pipes? Do you clean your pipes twice a week to make sure the tap water is clean?
Yeah.
And where's the resource coming from? Is it from a well? Is it from the ocean? You know?
Yeah, because we'd like to know. Inquiring minds want to know. It's for me out like red flag. Next. I'm over it. Like you idiot.
Even if it is like, a third party cola, like. Who cares?
Exactly.
And if you're that scared that it's not going to be up to your standards, because obviously it wasn't in this guy's case, don't order it.
Yeah, exactly.
Why risk your chances of being disappointed?
Wow, I'm blown away. Honestly, this story, that when you said that, I was like, sorry, that took a turn.
Yeah, no, I really don't like his comment at the end. That is so rude, racist, stereotypical. What else? Like, just...
everything under the sun, to be honest.
Awful.
Like, yeah, it's disgusting. Yeah, it's really disgusting. And I'm happy that she just left, like you said. Like, she just stood her ground and left. But it's crazy that we cross paths with people like this.
Yeah. And this guy was still stupid enough after she walked away then to text her the next day and ask her to go out again. Are you stupid?
I think so, because you can read a room. Like you just
he can't.
Yeah, clearly, exactly. So that's what I mean. He is stupid.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, Tashinga answered my question. Like, he is a dumbass. Like, I'm sorry. Like, there's no other way to say this. The Coke thing and the racist comment.
I die.
You're a bloody idiot, dude.
You are, like, ciao. Like, good for that woman for just leaving. But yeah, I would have to actually at that point. Like, it's just so, like, acetone. Like, it's just too much.
No, that's awful. That's awful. I really don't like people who judge other demographics and other types of people so openly like that, and based on stupid stereotypes or just based on hate.
Traffic. I've never heard of this. Like, I'm gonna ask my mum. Have you ever heard about this, mum, before? Because apparently the traffic is because of us.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about?
That's messed up.
Yeah, that is.
I'm sorry you had to like experience that. But hey, look, it made it on the Thespillandgrill, so I hope that's a good thing. And yeah, like that's the thing about these awful stories is that at least it comes with a story for later on. It's something for you to leave online or talk about at a party or at a get together. So at least we've got that, right? So yeah, but good for you for walking out and good for you for blocking him. He sounds like someone who needed to be blocked.
Amen. Like ASAP.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay,
guys, that is it. As always, if you have any stories, any dating stories, good or bad, please email them. The email will be on the screen, thespillandgrill@gmail.com. As always, take everything that we say with a pinch of salt. We are not professionals. We are not experts. We are not doctors. We don't claim that we are. We are just sharing our opinions and our experiences that we've had ourselves.
Yeah. We're not dating coaches. We have no degrees in in dating or psychology or anything like that. We just want to build community because this happens to a lot of people, not just women, to men as well. Yeah. So men, if you have stories, we would love to hear those stories as well. You are not excluded from this. Everybody has a crazy ex or everybody has gone on some crazy date. And let's share them. let's share and let's have a little bit of fun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I agree.
And as always, please remember to like, share, and subscribe.
And if you are watching, thank you for watching the Spill and Grill podcast. And if you are listening on Spotify, thank you very much for listening. I am Tashinga.
And I'm Sarah.
And you have been listening or watching the Spill and Grill. Bye,
Bye,
guys.
guys.